News Bobrisky, we will not spare anybody. Nigerian govt vows published on September 27, 2024 by Pash Chidozie. The federal government has vowed that nobody involved in the alleged bribery saga involving a crossdresser, Idriso Kunai, aka Bobrisky, will escape punishment. Minister of Interior, Dr. Olabunmi Tunji, made the vow at a press briefing to mark his 1 year in office on Friday in Abuja. The minister had earlier ordered a comprehensive investigation into allegations of bribery and corruption within the Nigerian Correctional Service, NYS. Tunji gave the order following reports that Bobrisky, who was sentenced to prison earlier this year, did not serve his jail term inside the correctional center. Amid the ongoing investigation, the Nigerian government, through the Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire and Immigration Services Board, on Thursday, the 26th of September 2024, suspended some senior officers of the country's prison service. Those suspended are Michael Anugwa, Deputy Controller of Corrections, DCC, in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, MSCC, Kirikiri, Lagos State, and Sikiru Adekunle, Deputy Controller of Corrections, DCC, in charge of Maximum Security Custodial Center, MSCC, Kirikiri, Lagos State. The board also suspended ASC 2 Ogbul Samuel Obinna, serving at the Medium Security Custodial Center, MSCC, Afikpo, Ebonyi State, for allegedly accompanying a convicted inmate out of the custodial center to a location outside the facility. Another senior officer, Iloafonsi Kevin Ikechukwu, Deputy Controller of Corrections, DCC, in charge of Medium Security Custodial Center, MSCC, Kuj, Abuja, was suspended for allegedly receiving money on behalf of an inmate. Speaking on the bribery and corruption saga that is currently rocking the country's correctional service, Tunji urged Nigerians to be patient and wait for the conclusion of the investigation. The Nigerian government has finally approved a substantial increase in the monthly allowance of National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, members. A press statement issued by the agency's Acting Director of Information and Public Relations, Caroline Mbu, on Wednesday night, said Corps members' monthly allowance is now pegged at N77,000, up from the previous N33,000. The statement said the increment would be effective from July 2024, in accordance with Minimum Wage Amendment, Act 2024. The statement reads, the federal government has approved the increase of Corps members' monthly allowance to 77,000 naira, N77,000, with effect from July 2024. This is in line with the enactment of the National Minimum Wage Amendment, Act 2024. This was contained in a letter from the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, dated the 25th of September 2024, and signed by the chairman, Mr. Ekpo Nta. Prior to this, the Director General, NYSC Brigadier General Yard Ahmed, had paid an advocacy visit to the chairman in which he solicited for a robust welfare package for Corps members. The NYSC boss is thankful to the federal government for the timely gesture and is optimistic that it will not only bring much-needed succor to the Corps members, but also boost their morale and motivate them to do even more in their service to the nation. Before this increase, the monthly allowance for Corps members was 33,000 naira, N33,000. Craig Rose recalls catching up in a pub with his best friend of 35 years, Kenneth Toll, when they saw two old men sitting and laughing together at another table. Toll gave Rose a nudge and said, "That'll be us one day." Toll was wrong. Tolan, an active 62-year-old, died on the 20th of July 2019 after undergoing a low-risk elective bilateral knee surgery at Albury Wodonga Private Hospital in New South Wales. He was found on the floor of a hospital bathroom 3 days after surgery. He had collapsed after a shower and hit his head as he fell. When Toll's son rushed to the hospital after finding out his dad had died, he arrived to see Toll still on the floor, lying in blood, family members told Guardian Australia. The family want answers about how Toll, a type 2 diabetic with hypertension, and an extensive list of other health issues, died from a surgical procedure considered routine for knee pain. Toll wanted the operation, as he hoped it would allow him to travel more frequently to visit Rose in Canberra, and to explore Europe with his wife of 40 years, Wendy Toll. Lawsuit alleges medical device to replace patient's jaw had inherent defects. This week, Toll's family and many loved ones attended all 5 days of a coronial inquest into his death at Albury local court. "I'm here because I loved him and I love his family," Rose said. The coroner will examine whether Toll should have been assessed as fit for surgery, whether his risk for complications was adequately assessed, and whether the surgical techniques used by his surgeon, Dr. Ellie Cooey, including using metal bars and guiding devices called rods and performing 2 surgeries at once, affected risk. The coroner will also consider whether Toll was cared for appropriately in the 3 days after surgery. A question that repeatedly arose was whether Toll should have been referred to and assessed by a cardiologist when he began to experience episodes of supraventricular tachycardia.